comment has come up. Hi everybody. Sorry for the confusion yesterday. It was a day of I put it up to schedule it for today, and some reason it decided to say, hey, we're going to go up right this moment or this day instead. So I'm really sorry if there was some confusion and anybody sat around waiting for me yesterday. I wasn't actually online because I'd planned to sit there, and I did. I sat there on the Barclays video banking app. Hi, Tracy. So yeah, today I've set up a bank account for an 11-year-old like you do because they're off to secondary school this week and they had their first trip into town on their own with their friends today. So that's been exciting. So how is everybody? How is everybody? We're in September. Can you believe we are in September? The weather has changed already. It is raining outside. Hi. It is raining outside. Hi, everybody. It's raining outside like crazy. And as you know, we are in Mercury retrograde pre-shadow. So if I have accidentally spelt anything wrong today and you're involved in my life and I've done something slightly wrong today, that's what it is. Mercury retrograde, messing up our communications. It's joy, 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 joy. Hi. Aloha. So your daughter is turning 20 today. Happy birthday to your daughter. Amazing. Amazing. I miss being 20. I'm going into Hermit Mode 2. I'm just taking this time to sit and think about where I want to go on my journey, where I want to go with regards to my spiritual path. Actually, I'm just taking the time with that. So I'm also delving into a little shadow work as we're going into a bit of shadowy time, and Mercury retrograde. It really gives me a great time to sit and think about what matters most to me, where I want to go, how am I developing. Yeah, I think it's really good and healthy thing for us to do. So where are we going? Where are we going? Oh, things they are changing. You can feel that things are changing. So tonight I'm just going to go quick and fast. Quick and fast, one hair. Oh, it is. It's basically the orange is fading out now. So some of the pink that was in from last time is sat there. It's due, as you can see, I have roots, so it will be having its top up. I'm hoping to do it this weekend. Although I have not even messaged my friend to ask her if she can come and do it. So yeah, so tonight is going to be fast and fast. Fire Engine Red. It was actually Psychedelic Sunset. I bought 2 pots of it this weekend because I need to get it all in there again. I just don't want to go on the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to go on the school playground looking rough. Looking rough. I just don't. I've not bothered to lose any weight, so I'm certainly not gonna to do anything other than that. So anyway, we're going to go quick tonight. I'm going to try and get through as many people as I can, just because I don't know. I feel like we have to do things. So I will do Cheryl, and then I will do Tracy, and then we will move on from there. There is absolutely no obligation to donate, by the way, guys. Oh, you're okay. Honestly, I go by Magpie. I go past that. I just I used to go by Gertrude on the school playground when I was a dinner lady. I used to be called Gertrude, and actually there was a whole year of the school that just had random old lady names on the playground that I used to remember all of them individually. I loved it. Maud was one of my favorites. Maud, Myrtle, Edna, Ethel, any of those old names I used to just name them all these 7-year-olds. And sometimes actually one of my friends still calls me Gertrude. One of the other dinner ladies still calls me Gertrude. I miss Gertrude. So do I. So let's go. So yeah, Cheryl first and then Tracy. But yeah, guys, there is absolutely no obligation to donate in any way. It's not a has to be happen. Just yeah. So Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, Cheryl, for you, we have the Five of Pentacles. See, this light is going to be really rubbish. Sorry, guys. It's going to be really rubbish for cards tonight. There's a loneliness. There's an isolation kind of feeling with this card that really comes through. Hi, everybody. There's a material. I feel like there's things that you want to say and share and talk to people, and you want to just have a space to process them. Because there's like this weird feeling in my throat chakra as I'm sat in your energy. I'll put another one to go with it with how to do that. It feels very much like a lack of communication or a lack of ability to talk to people or to have that space to process and be with others. I don't know if there are things that ways spaces to talk that you've maybe considered before, and maybe it's worth looking into them again. Also, there are spaces like women's circles, and there's also red tents, depending on where you are. I know in Plymouth there's a red tent, and they do some amazing things. And it's actually a space where you can, well, first of all, delve into womanhood, but also in the women's circles, in the sharing circles, there's a space where you can just talk, and there's like an object that will be passed around the circle, and you can hold the object, and you can just speak your truth, and nobody gives you advice. Nobody judges anybody. Everything in that circle is kept private, but it just gives you a space to have what you want to say witnessed. And sometimes there is healing in that. And I don't know if you feel like you have nowhere to talk to or nowhere to process. But there's always places and spaces to talk. If anybody wants to use like the magpie's nest, in order to talk about to share, like, hey, I'm going through this, is there anybody that I can talk to or share with? And again, ascending butterflies is a great space for doing that as well. I know Laura and that space has done so much to support so many people through hard times, that sometimes just knowing that we're not alone or just having someone to chat to is really important, so that we don't feel like we're isolated in the world and we don't feel alone. So maybe it's worth changing the perspective of I'm alone in the world, and reaching out to places where you can, like these women's circles or red tents, if you want to connect with other women in a spiritual way. They say the right things, but their actions don't match. Yeah, that's often the case. That's often found with some people. Some people just genuinely do get busy. That's the thing as well, that some people do get busy, and that's why it's really nice to have those carved spaces where you can rock up and say, hey, I'm not okay with this. Is anybody around to talk? And there's somebody there to talk. Or like the women's circles, you can turn up and you get your time and space to talk about things. So really it's about changing the perspective. And if there's somebody that you're close to that you're talking to and they're not listening, maybe it's about changing the words ever so slightly and trying to see things from another perspective. Like, how do they normally, when they engage, how do they engage, and changing the way that you talk to them ever so slightly. Because I don't think it's not that they don't care. I think it's they don't understand for whatever reason. And sometimes we need to change our words. So instead of when you're always hurting me by doing so and so, and they go, I don't mean to hurt you when I do that, it's changing it to, when you do this, it makes me feel this. So there's that aspect to it. I hope that's helpful, Cheryl. I said I was going to go quick, and there I was, another 5 minutes. Tracy. Okay, I'm going quick. What it is. I hope that's helpful in some way, Cheryl. Okay, Tracy. For you, disillusionment is really what I'm feeling with this. I don't know if this is you wanting to share a gift or a talent. It's just chucked a load of cards at me. I will turn them over because they're obviously gone for a reason. there is this energy of I want to say disillusionment, but there's no need to be disillusioned. That invalidates the whole thing of what I'm saying you're feeling, and I don't mean to. Um, it's really weird. I just want to itch and pull my skin off. I don't know what that is. Like just frustration. Like I'm so frustrated and blocked up and just fed up that I just want to pull my own skin off. I know that's very like what out there, but sometimes I do get like that when I feel like my nerves are everywhere. I just feel like it irritates my skin. I just want to get out of my own skin, if that makes sense. Not that I ever would, but it's that kind of feeling like you're so irritated. It's just, ugh. With regards to a talent or a gift, there is um, development coming or growth coming. Oh, you do have a rash. I just really want to itch it, and it's really annoying, and I feel really warm. Um, with regards to this development, this skill, this growth, and feeling slightly disillusioned possibly with it, don't lose sight. It is literally like there is a gift waiting, or there's something you may get a new Claire coming in or something like that, but there's this new aspect, emotional aspect coming in to change the energy. You just have to be aware and looking for it. Um, it may even be someone offering you some guidance. It may be someone who's offering you some way to develop. Um, consider it. Don't just turn it away and go, no, 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 no. Consider it. You don't have to take it, but at least take the time to consider it. Um, there is contact coming in. There's a Page of Swords energy here. So either somebody watching or somebody contacting you directly, or you'll hear about that they've been watching your social media, or they've been trying to get hold of you or trying to find information out about you. This person doesn't necessarily have good intentions. Um, there is a choice to make here. It's okay for you to choose to help them or not help them, or whatever decision you make, it is yours to make. Just make sure you're taking the time and considering all the options of everything that's going on. This may well be this offer thing being offered to you, but it doesn't necessarily feel like they're the same thing. This feels more like a development growth that you will have perhaps spiritually or otherwise, or emotionally at least. This feels like a separate thing because it jumped out separately. It's laid separately for me. There is a choice. There is balance that can be found. There is a happy medium in the middle where everything is great. But I think that involves good communication, honesty, healthy boundaries, and making sure that there isn't codependency in any way, that it is independent people that are dealing with each other. I hope that's helpful in some way, Tracy. That's what I have. I did see, where did it go? Leonie. Next, Leonie. Okay. What do we have for Leonie? What do we have for Leonie? Okay, Leonie. Okay, Leonie. Oh, I like this energy. Okay. Okay, so Leonie, for you, first of all, I have an extra card called the Mother Star. And what's interesting is one of the first readings I ever gave for someone who was an incredible teacher to me and helped me develop, Alison, when I did her first reading, she came up as the Mother Star. Um, so this may well be associated with Alison, but maybe not. It's just that there is this nurturing Mother Star who wants you to believe in yourself, who wants you to develop, who is offering guidance and support to you. And I say this because I then have the Hierophant, who is this wise teacher, this spiritual, a person who imparts spiritual knowledge. And hi, um, that there is this teacher with this wisdom coming to offer that. Um, It does feel like it's a female teacher. It does feel like this is somebody that wants you to develop holistically as a whole kind of picture, um, in order for you to reach your goals. And this isn't just they're going to teach you spirituality. They're going to help you to balance up, um, physically, emotionally, mentally, all on all planes, on all aspects. They will help you develop and grow, or at least guide you and help guide you and navigate your way to that wholeness and that holistic wholeness. Um, I have the Wheel of Fortune coming in. As the wheel turns, as it gets colder, there could well be an opportunity coming in for you. There is going to be a challenge in the sense that, not that it's going to be something that you can't overcome. It's not that. It's just, it's a reminder, a small reminder of how far you've come, because this will come up, and you'll recognize how much growth you've had because this challenge comes up, and it's something that you had before and you can keep it away because you've set boundaries, because you've had this energy, of protecting yourself and developing yourself and standing in your authenticity and standing in your own strength and all the work you've been doing. This challenge comes up to remind you of your work, not to necessarily test you, in the sense of, hey, you've got this lesson to learn. It's a reminder of, hey, look how far you've come in this lesson, rather than starting from scratch all over again. So this is a reminder to keep your boundaries, to make sure that you are reaching out where you can for people, um, where allowing people to come and help you, but having those healthy boundaries as well, that they don't take advantage, that you're not depleting yourself, and making sure that you maintain those boundaries for you. I do feel this is somebody that, conflict, they do not understand when they've crossed the line. They think that their way is right and they don't necessarily see that they do anything wrong, if that makes sense. The good news is you do have the Hermit card. So again, we are in this period where we are going into the darker part of the year. And so there is this shadow energy. Like I said, we're about to go into Mercury retrograde. There are going to be things that come up for you in the next few weeks that, like I say, they're going to remind you how much you've grown, because although they're the similar part things that would happen, like a pattern of, say, things that happened a year ago or 6 months ago or whatever, there's going to be these things that come up, and sometimes triggers come up to remind us how much they don't trigger us or how deeply they can't hurt us as much as they did before. And so you're going to have this period of, oh, okay, I'm going to go within. Did that hurt me? How am I after that coming up? Where is that coming from? Do I need to still do some healing work here? Do I need to do some processing here? Do I need to take some action there? It's basically taking stock of everything and taking the time to pull away and go, I need to assess what's going on and then respond to a situation. Don't just react to it. Um, so yeah, but I do feel like you're going into this through choice rather than reactionary. So it's a case of you feeling much more emotionally stable in the coming months as we go through the darker part of the year. There's this more calm sense of centeredness, and so that gives you more optimism and more joy and more focus towards going towards what makes you feel fulfilled and satisfied on an emotional, mental, spiritual, physical level. I hope that's helpful in some way, Leonie. Yeah, options. You may even have the option to go travel. And again, carefully consider that. More than one offer to travel as well, by the way. More than one offer of places to go. Consider all the options, all the scenarios. Make sure you're making that in a fully, um, informed way, delving into it, if that makes sense. You are so welcome, Leonie. Okay, I'm just going to check the order that these came in. I believe Gemma is next, and then Jesper. Okay. And then we will get, as long as there's no more donations. I'm not saying don't, I'm just saying then I will move on to the other ones. Okay, Gemma, what do we have for Gemma? I love this. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so Gemma, this is beautiful, by the way. I love this so much. And you know, I only read these if they come up. I'm not a hopeless romantic, so First of all, I have the Queen of Cups. I really feel this is you actually, really in your authentic, emotional, intuitive, creative self, recognizing that you bring emotional nourishment, spiritual nourishment, um, and that you have this artistic, creative, beautiful. I really do feel artistic. I don't know if you're painting, but you should be painting or doing some sort of creative craft where it comes from an emotional place. I feel like there's things there, very Frida Kahlo kind of aspect to that energy I'm really feeling. That kind of, oh, okay, this hurt me, so I'm going to process it through artwork, and there's that kind of energy. What comes in with this is I then have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, I wonder if changing that light might do something. Um, Very grounded, very reliable, has good vision, can assess the situation in the material world and make practical decisions. They know who to call in for certain aspects. So if you're needing support in some way, they will know who to reach out to, or at least roughly who to call out to, reach out to. They're very supportive. They will support you as well. I keep seeing foxgloves on there. I don't know if foxgloves mean anything to you. What I have off the other side of that is this Two of Cups, this balancing of energies, the give and take, the recognition that where you may think that you're not contributing equally to a partnership, a relationship, you very much are. Just because it's not materially the same or emotionally the same or mentally the same, there's this kind of, it's recognizing that the whole thing together is a beautiful blended relationship. Make sure that you are recognizing that, because I think I then have the devil. um to me, this is fear and shadow. And like I said, Mercury retrograde's coming up. Communication may be off. We're not listening quite. So it could be that either words are being said slightly wrong and then received slightly wrong. So there may be this not argument, but this misunderstanding that highlights things, fears in you, triggers like, oh, this may be a weakness. Oh, this may be a problem. What you need to do is, instead of, whereas before you'd have gone, this is a problem, I need to just, oh my God, go into panic mode. It's not. It's not that it's a problem. It's, hey, sit there and assess the situation. The judgment card is about assessing. And again, the judgment card comes in when we have big life lessons. Are you going to follow the same pattern that you did before, where, oh my God, I'm losing them, blah, 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 blah? It may not be that. It may be just sitting there and going, hey, it's Mercury retrograde. Communication could be off. Maybe this is coming up to make me sit and think about what matters to me. How am I going to develop? How am I going to grow? How can we work together towards something? And it's almost like by making a different approach to you normally would to a misunderstanding, that's where it brings about clarity and a way to develop and move forward and build in the future together. It helps you bring balance back in, um, open-heartedness. Yeah, they may be a bit more not frequent. It's not a huge, I don't feel like these are huge arguments. I feel like these are misunderstandings, and it's really about changing how you respond to those things. I'm glad that you had cleared a lot of air, and I'm glad that it's really amazing. Things have ups and downs. So if you have a down, it's okay to have a down. It's how you deal with the downs that's the problem. But there is this kind of energy of each time you go through this disagreement and you change it in a different way, the way you respond to it, it's almost like it actually clears some of the fears and the shadow that you have, and it allows you to heal yourself as part of that. But yes, balance of communication, balance of energies. I hope that's helpful, Gemma, in some way. Okay, Jesper, and then we will be moving on to other people. Other people, like, you know what I mean? Just whoever I'm drawn to after that. Okay, Jesper. Again, this energy of assessment, really assessing your strengths, your magic, your creative spark, creative aspect. I feel like taking your time. I say taking your time, but I feel like you're doing these assessments quite quickly. I just feel like they're not rushed assessments, is what I feel I'm coming with. Um, Stephanie, yeah, other people. I feel with this, it is a project, and taking the time to assess it and work the way through. I love that, Gemma. That's beautiful. That's how it should be. This project, I feel like there's something over the summer that you've developed over the last 6 weeks, perhaps. This tinkering and tweaking a project that you have, and it's not all the way finished yet. It doesn't feel like it's all the way finished yet. It feels like there's still more tweaking and things and trialing to do with it. But I do feel like you're starting to get into your stride with it, like very forming up very clear direction of how you want this project to go. I say project. I don't know that it's necessarily a project, but I do feel that, or maybe it is. If this is working with a new guide, then it's deepening that connection with that guide. But where there was passion and ideas and creativity coming in, it's like you're now starting to transition into realizing that there needs to be an element of the material side of this. And so it's about practically, I feel like you're writing something. Actually, I'm seeing really weird, a quill with a scroll writing. This is probably ancient stuff that you're actually channeling and writing, perhaps. But there's this energy of blending the passion with the substance now, and it's almost like building structure into a creative project, more firmed foundational structure to this. um yeah, I do, and I feel where there is this strong masculine, there may be a need to pull in a feminine aspect into this. um Not too much. I feel like there just needs to be a flavor of feminine through it. So I don't know if this is like getting advice from a female, or and I don't mean advice like how you should go about, I mean like tapping into their knowledge, or gleaning some wisdom from them about, hey, this perspective, does this come across to XYZ, or does this, how does this correlate over on your feminine kind of aspect? There is two lots of creativity in these cards that I have. So it does very much come from an emotionally passionate place. Like you care about this project and you're invested in it that way. So now that's why it needs this material um, structure brought into it. But other than that, it does feel like it has all this high energy, it has clarity, it has enlightenment to bring to people. It does feel like something that you will be delivering to other people. There is this clarity. Also, I feel like there's portal energy around you, just to be really random. I do feel like there's portal energy and timeline waving. Like, I literally see a timeline. And when it's really hot on the tarmac and then there's that wobbly kind of, it does that weird wobbly stuff to the light. I feel like that's happening with timelines though, if that makes any sense to you at all. But again, there is this clarity, this injection of energy. It's almost like by taking a little bit of stock, it refocuses your energy and you can start bringing this physical, material, tangible aspect to a creative idea and project and actually gaining ground and traction with it. Heat haze. There you go. Thank you, Beverly. But yes, this is something, I feel like this is something you're teaching youth. About to launch channeling events. But the process has been waiting because people around my space. Oh, okay. Well, that may be clearing then, because you have the sun and that is the clarity and restrictions being removed from you. So you may well have that and start putting that in place. That sounds incredible though, Jesper. That sounds amazing. What an amazing thing to do. Channeling. I haven't channeled for a while. Probably should. Well, actually, I say that I do that in coding, but it's not just channeling because. Okay, so that is, thank you everybody who's donated. That's all. 1111 is on my screen. Amazing. So if you would like a reading, they're going to be quick and they're going to be fast. If you'd like a reading, let me know. They're going to be one card, and I say that and then it always becomes three, but card, and I will do that. Let's see where we're going. Stephanie, as you keep coming back once again with the ill behavior, Renegade Master, let's just go with you first of all. Stephanie. You have the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups. I feel like this is about carving time with those that mean the most with you, to you. Um, you are so welcome, Jesper, and I really want to know about those channeling events. If they're in person, I'm not going to be there, but if it's an online thing, absolutely keep me in the loop. Sorry, Stephanie. For this, I have the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups. I feel like this is assessing those relationships close to you, whether that's family, partnership, if there's a partner, or romantic relationship, but also friends as well, your closest friends and family. And it does feel like the inner circle. It's really about having your core people. It's really about quality rather than quantity at the moment. And it's about assessing them and looking at each of these relationships and going, am I getting back more than I put in? Because I do feel like there are some that are unbalanced. Um, and that like you are giving a lot to people, certain people, and they are really not returning it back to you. And it's not that we give to receive constantly. It's just when you go over the whole thing, lately, has there been a relationship where it's been you chasing them? Maybe it's time to not chase them and invest that time and effort into someone else. And if they come back, great, absolutely meet their energy again. But if they don't, um, I just feel like there needs to be a boundary with this person, that they take too much without really coming back the other way. Um, I have no friends in person right now, just online. Okay. It's funny you say that because my next thing with the Three of Cups is about meeting people and meeting up with people in a space or a place. And that can absolutely be online. I have online friendships that are just as valid as my in life people. Um, but when it comes to these close relationships, it's about, where you're putting time with people that hasn't reciprocated. You then have time and space for people that have given energy to you, but you haven't had the time and space to give them what they truly deserve back, if that makes sense. So really it's about assessing all your relationships and the ones that mean the most to you, and how much time and energy you are um intermingling, for want of a better description, with these people. And maybe, just maybe, there's people online that maybe you could meet in real life. I mean, I've had Layla, well, I've been on here with Layla, come to my house, who is somebody that I literally met online. And then she came to Plymouth and we met. So there absolutely are people that you know online who give you the love and support and everything that you need. Um, Physical life people and I not connecting in person for whatever energetic reasons. Okay. Um, so really it is about saying, hey, do you want to meet up, and setting a time and event to say, hey, come to my house on this date if you want, we'll meet up, blah 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 blah. She says, having not done that herself, and that was like 6 weeks ago. But it really is about looking at the relationships that mean the most to you and kind of assessing them and what they mean to you, how much effort you need to put into them, whether you need to bring some back. And it does feel like this is the completion of a lesson for you in that way, Stephanie. um And absolutely, send the offer out. Hey, do you want to meet up? Hey, do you want to do this? Um, just because it hasn't happened, it may just be the wrong time. It may be that people have lots of things in their lives. With me, sometimes I arrange to meet people and then I have a complete freak out and a panic attack and I don't actually make it to the thing. So sometimes there are other reasons other than they don't want to, if that makes sense. But absolutely, it's about boundaries and honoring the ones you put out there. I hope that's helpful in some way, Stephanie. Okay, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Sarah. Is Sarah still here? Sarah. I did see Sarah. Lesson completion. Interesting. Yes, I sent out the messages, then stopped. I could do it again. I would give them one more and like kind of energetically put that out, like, hey, not like an ultimatum, but put it out one more time and just see what comes back. And if you feel there's something else going on with them, just go, hey, are you okay? Because we always say, hey, we're going to do this, and we never carve the time. Okay. She says, Sarah, is she here? If not, 35 minutes for Sarah. I'm just going to do this for Sarah because She asked, and I just felt drawn to her when she did it. First of all, the need to recover and quiet, to have quiet. I feel it's more like to have quiet to recover. I don't know if the world's been quite loud for you lately, and this need to ground and take space and heal, allow yourself time and to heal your energy. Mm. Okay, first of all, I have the Six of Swords, and then we have the Ace of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Lovers. The Six of Swords to me feels like moving from a place of scarcity and fear and moving into a more secure place. Not that the worry is kind of gone, but there is this kind of energy of, hi, Jared. Um, the energy of being in a better place to deal with it, not in panic mode or survival mode, but then moving into being in a space of, okay, no, I appreciate this is something, but I need to work out how I'm going to do that. I do feel like there is going to be some sort of amazing inspirational moment where you're like, oh, I know what I need to do, because it's almost like you've calmed yourself down and got to a centered space. It's almost like inspiration comes. That's not to say that the path isn't going to be hard or that there isn't going to be blockages along the way. I do feel like there will, but you will always find a creative solution over each of the things. Things will always turn up. Things will always, and I feel like it's like this. It will turn up. It's like it will happen. There is something with regard. I have the Lovers, and I also have the Two of Wands. This may be working in partnership with someone in order to set plans and intentions of how to navigate these things. This will need to be a living plan because life tends to throw curveballs. So make sure that there is curveballs. What the hell is that? Curveballs? Tell me it's Mercury retrograde pre-shadow. Anyway, so make sure you have a slight buffer with whatever these plans are for time or resources or money, whatever it is. Make sure you have a slight buffer for things that do come in as these curveballs, and make sure there is a bit of wiggle room in what you're planning, because like I said, things come in and we don't expect them. There are time delays, there are financial setbacks along the way. So it really is about sitting down with a partner or a plan in order to work out how to be tenacious in this time, um, where you're feeling constriction or restriction in some kind of way. I feel it's material, but it feels like a completion of a life lesson. A life lesson? A life lesson. Wow, hang on, sip of tea. Mm. Then I'm going to put my tongue back in my mouth so it works properly. So I hope that's useful in some way, Sarah. So I will tag her in that. I will message you in a minute, Sarah, and tell you what that is, that timestamp. Or maybe I'll just put it in here. Sarah EP 35. Right, okay. So if you'd like a card, let me know and I will try and pull one. There you go. Also, if you don't see the comments, sometimes it's because I'm on YouTube as well. Thank you, Jesper. She's at 35 minutes of the live if she wants to go back and watch that at some point. Okay, Rachel Fitzpatrick. Wow, a lot of people assessing. If you are feeling stuck, this is something in your actual life. So I don't know if this is a relationship or if this is a job or this is the home. Thank you, Jesper. It's like you have this goal and you have the potential in you and it can be successful. I just feel like whatever this is, it's reached some sort of point where you think it should have moved more than it has right now, and it's okay that you think it should have. I feel my nose is itchy, so it's annoying you that it isn't moving potentially, or something's not moving like it should. I don't know if there is someone around you who really inspires you, who and not inspires you as in, hey, I want to be just like them. I mean, inspires you to be the best version of yourself and the best way that you can develop. I have this person, they've already been on my live tonight. So somebody that always pushes you to be a little bit more than what you are. That not because they expect that from you, but because they know you're capable of it and they just want you to they remind you of your value and they remind you of your capability and they remind you of they just give you what you need to motivate you to keep going and progressing. And I feel like this person, oh, your daughter, amazing. Um, it's so close. It is so close to breaking even. The effort that you've put in, it's so close for that. Even initial, yes, I've done it before you progress into like profit or whatever. So, and I don't mean profit as in like financial. It may be financial, but you know what I mean? Like where you go, oh, okay, at least I've broken even. There's that kind of energy. You're so close to that energy that I just feel like they just need to this little bit of reminding that you are capable and that you are worthy of it coming in. And I think a lot of this is to do that you don't believe that you're capable, you don't believe that you're worthy. And it's almost like this little whisper in your ear, or this person's voice, or this person just saying something reminds you and it kicks you into um knowing where to put your focus and energy into in order to progress that over the line, because it is just so close, so close, so close. And this may require either a conversation with someone, or it may well require learning something new or bring it learning. And it's not a major thing. I don't feel like it's whole course or anything like that, or it may be if that's what you feel you need. Um, but it feels like there's a little bit of something to learn so that you can apply it. And it's like that is just like the thing that comes in and catalyzes you, pushes you going. I hope that makes some sense, Rachel. And I hope it's helpful in some way. Okay. Daisy. Yes, Daisy. Excellent timing. Okay, what have we got for Daisy? What have we got for Daisy? That one wants to come out. If you have a yes or no question, the answer is no, but I am going to read some cards for you. The answer is no, whatever that is. Just because I have the creator, but the card says no at the bottom. So, oh, I'm so glad, Rachel. Thank you. I'm glad that helps. Okay, Daisy, 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 Daisy. Are people just assessing everything right? She says, are we just assessing this? We're in Virgo season. We're assessing all of ourselves. That's why we need to be nice to ourselves. Okay. You have you have 3 sevens that have come out, Daisy. So for you, it really is a time of challenges, not anything that you can't overcome. If you've had lots of little setbacks, it really is about with all of these, it's just about allowing yourself to refocus. So to look at things that aren't doing any good in your life. So do you need to let certain people that always drag you down? Do you need to set a boundary? Do you need to cut them adrift and not deal with them? If there are things that aren't helping, it's basically looking at what's weighing you down. It's like you have too many things that you have to carry, and so it's about how do you reduce them. If that's emotional things that you have to deal with, go and speak to somebody and that can be medical, but it doesn't necessarily have to be medical. I mean, like even sitting with a friend and talking through some stuff that you just need to process, go and do that. It may be that you need to physically get rid of some stuff in your house um in order to do that. I don't know if you've been looking to move, but there may well be a move coming up for you. Um, if not, then there's possibly travel. There is someone around you that you have a feeling is, what's the word I'm looking for? Underhand. Is it underhand? Is that what it is? The energy feels off to you. And I don't know if your yes or no question is, can I trust this person? But I feel like the answer is no, if that is the question. Can I trust this person? If you feel something is off, something doesn't quite add up, there's a reason. And I don't know if this person is telling you that no, hey, no, blah, 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 blah. You know who you are and you know what you need, and if they can either jump on the wagon with you or they can just stay in the dust is what I'm really feeling. Wow, okay. Wow, what has happened? Because there's a lot of negative stuff going on. I feel like there's been this complete okay. That would explain if you're off work, your whole schedule's off, right? Your whole world's upside down right now. Um, oh, sorry, it's raining and my cat wants in. She's in. Um, whatever this situation is, instead of going, what do I do now? You need to sit there and go, what do I want to do now? It's almost like this is going to sound really weird. And if you're off work and it's ill or whatever's happened, whatever it is, right? It's also giving you time to sit there and really work out what it is you want, because it's almost like what the pandemic did with us all, where we all had to sit in our houses and be where we are. It's okay to take this time to assess what is working for you and what isn't working for you. Um, it's allowing you, and like I said, we're going into Mercury retrograde. It means that all the old conversations are going to come up for you to review. All your old decisions are going to come up for you to review. You can't change any of those things, but what you can do is change what you do with them. So instead of going, hey, when this come up, it really upset me and I flew off the handle, it's like, okay, how do I feel about that now? What did I learn from that? I don't know if you're looking back, because I don't know if you're sat just like looking and thinking all the time. And so it's like going, well, this didn't work and that didn't work and this didn't work. What this is saying to me isn't to ignore the bad stuff. And I would never tell you to ignore the bad stuff, but that doesn't mean that you should be focusing on it. You should be looking at the good stuff too, to balance that out and to realize that there is good and there is light. So if you are struggling each day, and I don't know if this is struggling, like, because not, and when I say struggling, like struggling to find anything good, try and find one thing before you go to bed to be grateful for, even if it was, I got to see the sunset and it was a gorgeous pink, or I made someone smile in the shop today, or um, just one thing. And it can be the tiniest thing, like I managed to shower today, because I think there's a lot of negative thinking, because there's been a lot of negative stuff going on, and I'm totally there for like feeling into that. And I'm not going to sit here and say just have positive thoughts. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not all love and light and hey, let's pretend that that isn't happening. I am really anti toxic positivity. But you do have to find the balance between the dark and the light in order to, if you sat in the darkness and you don't bring the light in, you have no way of seeing what's in there. So you're kind of feeling around. So what we're looking for is an element of optimism, of finding some joy, of having perhaps a gratitude journal if you don't have one already. And actually, Abby, when she was little and she struggled, we got her a happy sad book. And we had two books and we smacked them together. Well, actually, they were in like a planner. What do they call them? Like the philo ones. And there was two books on the strings. And what she would do is, if she was having a really bad day, she would sit there and write out everything in the book and just get it all out, get it all out, get it all out. And then what she would do is turn over and read the good book, because on the good days, we would write out all the good days. Like, today I managed this. Today my friend held my hand. Today so and so let me play with them. Today they said I was a good person. So she would, everything that was a gratitude journal was in the happy book, and everything that she wanted to get out was in the sad book. So if she had a really bad day, she could write it all out and then open it up and read something good. And a reminder that the light does come back around again. And sometimes when we're happy, we are always waiting for the bad thing to come around and end it. But when we're in the darkness, we forget that the sun's going to come up again. And so it's really important that we have the balance of the two, that we bring the light into the dark and that we appreciate the dark when the light is there. Because if we don't have the dark and the sad, how can we appreciate the joy and the ecstasy that goes the opposite side of that? So this is really a card of absolutely assess things. If this is to make a decision on moving on something, I wouldn't make the decision right now. I wouldn't make the decision right now. I would take my time to assess everything, allow Mercury retrograde in its benefit to sit there and allow you to go through things and reflect over some things. I mean, that's going through until October. I don't know how long things are going to go on, but in that time, so it goes retrograde fully. It's having its pre-shadow now. It goes retrograde on the 9th. So you may have these things come up, but I do feel like there are going to be revelations coming up. Like there will be this, because it's almost because you're sat there thinking and having this time to process some stuff rather than go, 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 go. You're being sitting and thinking. Threads are starting to come together. So follow the threads. Don't be scared to follow the threads, because the threads are going to bring you that information. I do feel like there's going to be a realization of something about what really matters to you and what has been something you shouldn't have invested so much time or effort into. But know that you did that because you wanted to put everything into something. And you are not alone. You are not alone. There are people around that can support you. You have community around you. You have friends. It may not be 100 different friends, but there are friends around you and family that can absolutely support you and help you if you need to. I don't know if you've been thinking about going into education, by the way. I don't know if you've been looking at going into teaching or developing or helping in education or some sort of support. You may be able to do that. So reach out and ask if you want some help and direction, or you want some, it doesn't hurt to ask for help or guidance. You're very intuitive, by the way. Going to uni, I love this. Also, you're very intuitive. If your gut says something is off, it's probably off. I feel like your heart says one thing, your gut says another, and your brain's trying to work out the difference. But your inner voice, your inner, um, yes, exactly. We do just need to ask our guides around us. But I do feel that you're very intuitive, Daisy. And so, um, what was that? That was a big boom. Um, I do feel that if your intuition, your gut is telling you something, there's something in it. So, follow, like I said, follow the threads. Um, I do feel also you could do this if you wanted to. You're very intuitive. You know things are going to happen. You know you can read between people's what they're saying and what they mean. They're two very different things, and I think you're very capable of doing that, dealing with that. I also don't know if where you're going to uni, I don't know if there are plans around that and choices to make around that. Um, there are ways to assess step by step how things work and how things navigate around that. But I am so proud of you for going to uni. I love that. I love that so much. I hope that's helpful in some way, Daisy. Trust your gut. It's honestly, your gut is telling you something for a reason. If you have anxiety, it's telling you something. I found that out, that I thought I was panicking about things around situations, and it made no sense why I was panicking. And actually, it was telling me that something wasn't safe or something wasn't right. Um, so, like a year ago, when the kids went back, so a year ago, 2 years ago, when the kids went back to school and we had to queue up on the playgrounds, um, and I was fine. And then all of a sudden, I started panicking on the waiting in the queue to go on the playgrounds and whatever. And it turns out that about a week, 2 weeks later, COVID entered one of my kids' classrooms. So I knew, and obviously COVID was a big thing. You know how poorly I was. Like I had the ambulance out, nearly went to hospital with my breathing. And so the fear of that, coupled with knowing that it was coming in, it just made my body react. So sometimes anxiety is attached to us knowing something and either worrying about whether that truth is truth, or what that means, or that there's danger there, or something is up and we need to follow the threads to understand what it is. I hope that's helpful in some way, Daisy. Okay, Sheila, let's go with you. Yep, gut always knows. And I find when I don't listen to my gut, that's when I really get ill, and I doubt myself, and then I kick myself for not listening. Sheila, for you, I feel like there's something that you've always wanted to do or always wanted to develop. Geez, you are very good, Kay. Thank you so much. Everything makes sense. Good. Thank you. I've not joined up yet. I've thinking of it for years, and the opportunity has come up, and I keep umming and ahhing. There's someone in my life that's close that I'm not sure I need in my life. You're right. My gut is telling me one thing and my heart the other. Oh, I hope that's good. Cry. Actually, crying's good either way. It releases endorphins at the end of it. It literally makes you feel happy. So if you feel the need to cry, Daisy, honor that. Do that. Do what you need to do to process, because it's really important that you do that. Yeah, Sheila, for you, again, there's an opportunity that is out there for you. And I feel like this is something that maybe you picked up to work on before. I think maybe I do know why this way. I have a decision to make, but worry for sure. Okay. I'm very aware that's Jenny's message, by the way. Jenny, I will come to that in a minute, because that feels like something I need to answer for you. Yeah, Sheila, there's something that you want to do, or you've always kind of wanted to, or it may have even been offered to you before, and you couldn't take it for whatever reason. And I don't know if you thought that this was ended, it could never happen for you. It made me realize everything with my time off. And you are positive, Daisy. I know very few people that are as positive as you, especially things you've gone through. So yeah. Sheila, it's not over. Keep the hope, keep the faith. You can do this. You can make this happen. You are about to step into a time where you can completely own and commit to that thing you've always wanted to do. I don't know if this is a job you've wanted to do, or a home to be a certain way, or there's some, I don't know if this is literally like decorating a home in your house a certain way, and you're like, I've always wanted to do this. I'm going to go and do it. The timing has always stopped, and I think you gave us, it doesn't have to be in the home, by the way. That was just something, they were just showing me this really cool lounge, and I was like, that's really cool. Why have I not done that in my lounge? Anyway, this could be a job that you've always wanted to do. It could be an opportunity to go and do something. It's something tangible, though. So it can be health, wealth, happiness, home, business, whatever. But something always stops it. And I think you thought it was over and you could never do it. You're about to step into a time where you can fully commit to doing that now. And that the time and the space and the emotional capacity, and I feel like it's emotional capacity, like there were other things taxing on your emotions at the time, or there were other things, people you had to put first, and like their feelings first. And now it's like, hey, this is about me being satisfied now. And actually, it's my time and I'm going to go and do that. And this may well be developing your intuition in some way, or working on you. I've asked my daughter to do my living room for me. She's just unnecessary. Amazing. That is so weird. I'm sorry. I know this happens, and even when every time it blows me away. Thank you for that, because that living room looks amazing. So amazing. I think there's fireworks going on out there. Yeah, there is fireworks. I hope my husband hears those and sorts my daughter out, because she's terrified of fireworks. But you are more than capable of doing this, and you are more than worthy of doing it. The only thing that stops you from doing anything is self-limiting beliefs. Oh, I think that might be the summer ball. Anyway, it's time to now go within and reflect about who you are now, what you require. And I think the more you do that and you realize how much you've grown, how much you're worth, how incredibly powerful you are and capable you are, I think that is really when you go, hey, do you know what? This is what I want to do. And I feel like there's almost like a calling that you've wanted to do. And you'll realize that the time is okay. It's the right time now for you to, if not do it right now, but start to work. You know how to work towards getting yourself to a place where you can go and do that you've always wanted to do. You will find it. You've done so much inner work already. I think it's just about realizing that, hey, I can do that. And also there's careers, beginnings, and travel on that card written. So it could be a career, it could well be to travel, and it could well be both. But it's about starting to put plans in place and to be a little bit selfish so that you can go and do those things now, because you have not been selfish for so long that it's really important that you do it now. I hope that's helpful in some way, Sheila. Tracy, let's do you. Guys, if you'd like a reading, just comment and I don't mind while I'm reading if you comment to say, hey, can I have a reading? I don't mind, because then when I finish a reading, you guys are like 20 seconds behind me. So let's see. Tracy. As you can see, Tracy, I'm sure it was a wonderful GIF. I just can't see it. GIF? How do you say that? GIF. I say GIF because it's a G. If it was GIF, it would be a J, like the old cleaning fluid, which is now SIF. That always annoyed me. Okay, Tracy, for you, there's a need to have courage right now. Strength. There is currently a test put on you, or it feels like a test, whether it actually is a test from life or life's just being life and going, hey, no, they're not going that direction. It's really about keeping an eye on where it is you want to be. Having that, it definitely is the military summer ball, because it's still going and people don't pay that much for private ones around here. So if anyone's scared of fireworks and can hear that, I'm really sorry, or bangs, I'm really sorry. I can't stop them. They're just over the valley. So this is a challenge about being where you are and pushing forward from how much you've grown already. So keep that eye on where it is you want to be. Keep that eye on what it is you want to achieve, and keep going, because it's like push time. Because all that's stopping you is fear, and you are again so close to completing this lesson, completing this test. So it's keeping your eye on where it is, the bigger picture. This is a small challenge in a big path. So just make sure that you are pushing through. I feel like this is to do with boundaries with people, like setting them or not allowing people into your energy that aren't helpful or useful or bringing some benefit to you. Not that we do things in order to benefit, but there has to be equal exchange. And really, it's about assessing it and going, okay, what do I need to do to get through this challenge? What do I need to bring on board? Do I bring someone else in? And I do feel like there's a slight skilling up, building up the skills, building up the tools that you have, in order. It's part of your healing journey to do that, to step through in this test, this challenge, to find the creative solution over this challenge. And that brings you in new tools and skills and strength as a result. You're building up strong. That's why you haven't given up. I hope that's helpful, Tracy, in some way. Okay. Who did I read that question? Where was it? There you go, Jenny. You have a decision to make, but worried if you should or shouldn't. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome, Sheila. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, push through. Bang, 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 bang. That's slightly too low for me to truly appreciate as well. If I could just move that house over there, it'd be amazing. I say that we had the national championships 2 nights in a row a couple of weeks ago, so I never get to go to them because, like I said, my daughter's terrified. So okay, only you can make this decision. This is going to be really really unhelpful. It's not helpful, but it is helpful. Okay. So Jenny, for you, you're holding back on something. So if this is you deciding if you should move forward with something or you shouldn't, if you feel the time isn't right, there's a reason why you feel it isn't right. There is a reason, and you need to give credence to what that is. However, it is very much a weighing up, literally like the scales of yes, no, literally balancing up the two things. I don't know if this is an either or decision for you or whether there is some sort of compromise or middle ground you could go to with this. But the reason it's hard to make the decision is because there's going to be an element of conflict attached to it, or somebody having an opinion on what you should or shouldn't do. You shouldn't be making decisions based on what somebody else thinks necessarily. Absolutely take their advice. Absolutely. Only if you've asked for it, by the way. Unsolicited advice is unhelpful. Um, I do feel like somebody is trying to put blockages on you or demands on you, or and the fact that you don't want to carry that anymore, that burden, or hold what they expect you to hold anymore, um, is actually what's holding you back. I feel like you do something for somebody, and the minute you take that away, you know that they're going to come at you. And actually, um, I think that is it. That they might be upset with my decision. Absolutely, but how it affects them and how they react is not should not affect your decision. Because as Dumbledore says, and I love Dumbledore, and it's my favorite Dumbledore quote, it's the difference between choosing what is right and what is easy. And I feel like the easy decision isn't going to make you happy in the long run. And actually, you need to weigh it up. And yes, if you choose what is right for you, it's probably going to upset somebody else. But you cannot carry the expectations of someone else. You have to live your life for you and what is right for you. And yeah, literally, Nine of Cups. What is going to satisfy you on a personal level? Don't worry about everybody else right now. What's going to make you okay? What's going to make you happy? What's going to make you feel fulfilled? Because really it's about your happiness, not holding yourself down and pretending you're something you're not in order to make other people happy for fear that they may come for you if you don't do what they want you to do. It's really important that you make yourself happy right now. And again, I think that's going to require boundaries, because if you're doing this and it's the right thing for you, absolutely you're going to thrive and grow and just step into your power. It's going to be amazing. I hope that helps, Jenny. You're so welcome. Okay, Mandy. Mandy, Mandy, Mandy. Mandy Cairns. Mandy Cairns. First of all, how cute is your picture? And also, I love your necklace and your earrings. For you, I don't know if you're thinking about studying or you're trying to make plans. I don't know if you're ready to do the thing that you want right now, but it is about looking to the future and starting to make plans and put them in place. Even if it's writing out the plans. I just don't know if the energy around you doing this thing is right now. And I don't think it's because of you. I think there are other things that are taking your attention right now. But if you look forward and you have a plan in place so that when the conditions are right, make those plans. And I do feel like they're not forever off, but they are way off. I can't believe those fireworks are still going. That must have cost a fortune. These are long-term plans, because I then have the Ten of Pentacles, which is about long-term plans, a long vision for the future. If this is you signing something in the next kind of 6 weeks for something that affects your family, make sure that you are getting the relevant professional advice. Also, make sure that you are double checking everything that you're signing, especially if it's to do with finances, especially if it's to do with legalities. Yeah, it does feel like the timing right now isn't right. It's not that it won't happen. It just feels very this has to be a long-term goal. It's going to take a while to get it to full fruition. So that's why you need to make sure everything is in place and secure. Wow, my cat's not liking these. Oh, you just signed for a house. Amazing. First of all, amazing. And if that's one of the things, it's that if that's the house, the home, that's the Ten of Pentacles. This is going to be home. It's going to be secure. I feel like the time for other things is not quite yet. Yeah, rest and recover for now. The timing will become apparent for you. There will be something that comes in that makes you know the time is right, that it's okay to do that now. I feel like there's an element that still needs to come in for that to stabilize, and that will come in for you. It's not telling me when, by the way, but it is there. Also, any anxiety you have, try and get to the root of what that is. I feel like there's grief attached if there is anxiety. I feel like there's grief that you're not talking about, or you think you should be over by now, but that it keeps coming up for some reason. I don't know if that's a grief of a person that you've lost, um, but it's almost like because you're worried about talking about it, like you feel like you should be okay by now. Grief has no timeline, and trauma healing has no timeline, and things come up, and it's very wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Doctor Who quote for you there. It's a personal journey, and it can come up for no reason, and we can go back to where we were, and we can come back again. So um, make sure you're allowing yourself that time and space to process and to share with people when you're not okay. And if that requires some form of counseling or therapy, absolutely make sure that you are putting that in place to support you, and not and before you're at I think we think that we can't go to counseling unless we're in crisis points. Sometimes we need to do it just to maintain ourselves, and it's really important that we do that. I hope that's helpful in some way, Amy. Okay. Yeah, it does. It did say that there was grief there. It just feels like it's following it and understanding where that comes from and where that may have led from. Sorry, stemmed from, led from. Where was the leading? Uh, there you go. Okay, let's have a look. What is that? What is that on Amy's? I'm going to have to put that up in a minute just to see what the pink bit is. Okay, Venita. What do we have for Venita? Visions. Visions aren't just what you think they are. There's symbolism behind your visions. Make sure that you're looking into the symbolism behind them. I don't know if you've had I feel very like Lorna just then. So I don't know if you're supposed to, if you know Lorna, Moonlight Healing with Lorna. I don't know if you're supposed to connect with her at some point. I just suddenly felt like I was channeling Lorna. She does this thing when she's like, yes, it's this thing. And I just felt like Lorna. Hi, Kathy. I haven't seen Kathy for a while. I'm so pleased to see Kathy. Um, yeah, there's something about visions and the symbolism behind it. I don't know. Oh, you're in Healing Circle? Oh, you're in the Healing Circle. I haven't been in the Healing Circle for months. I'm really bad. I just pop in. Every time I try to join it, something happens. So I just don't even say that I'm going. And then if I rock up, I rock up. So yeah, there may be something. If you've been having visions, ask Lorna. Yeah, ask Lorna, because I feel like there's something there that she can answer and help with. Also, if you've been working on ancestral healing, I think you're starting to she joined us. Amazing. I do. There's a lot of cup energy here. I feel like this is leveling up of development spiritually, which I already think you're there, but I don't know if you feel you're developing. Um, I feel like it's symbolism, but I also feel like there's ancestral healing and a child healing as part of this work that you're doing. And I don't know if this is you doing the ancestral healing with people or this is you doing yours, but it's almost like by how you work through yours, it also helps to heal others at the same time. You can guide others because you've done your work, if that makes sense. How am I? I am pretty good. My eldest starts primary school next week and took their first bus ride into the city on their own with their friends today. That was very, 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 very big for me. I don't know. I thought I'd panic and I didn't. Is that a band-aid? It's a band-aid or a plaster, as we call them over here, a plaster. Okay, Amy, let's see what we have for you. Amy Jane, what do we have for you? King of Swords and the Queen of Swords with the Tower. Okay. Five of Pentacles. Okay. If you've had big news recently about something, some form of loss, I can truly believe that, Vanita. I think you're incredible when you're working, just so you know. I've been there, I've seen it. I feel like there are two people in this situation that both are very intelligent, both are very good with their words, both are perhaps not great. A vision, not news. Does that count? Quite possibly. If that news has given you revelation in a situation, then yes. Because if that is a vision and you can see what it is, then you can what is it they say? Forewarned is forearmed. That's what I feel like that is. Because it's almost like we've planned, but you can guarantee if you've planned and planned and planned, the one thing that you're not expecting happens. But if you've had a vision that's given you insight into a situation of something being lost, it means you can put prevention and planning in place. And I think you managed to do that because I then have, instead of having the Five of Pentacles, we then have the Ten of Pentacles. And I don't know if that's avoided because you then collaborate with this other person. So either you are coming up as the King or the Queen of Pentacles, but there's someone who's very much your equal, but almost like, so if you're the feminine, say you're the feminine, and I know it's very typical, you may well be the masculine energy, your counterpart, the feminine kind of energies, or your balancing energies, by balancing the two of you together, it prevents that loss from happening by working together in some way. And actually, that helps you avoid that. And I know that's very weird for me to say that off of having a vision. You're looking for the warning signs that it's coming. There is something fated coming in. But I do feel like it's forewarned is forearmed. Having that vision means that you are, and it is forearmed because I'm seeing there you have the whole Court of Swords here. So it is about armed, and you can use the sword to protect and you can use the sword to attack. And I feel like this knowledge, this wisdom that you have is giving you the defense option of that sword suit, forearmed, to arm yourself, whatever comes in. Make sure you've checked every situation, everything though. And that, I don't mean like excessively. I think it's palpable to you, and I think you feel it's coming in, and I think you have an idea of when. What's a weather eye on the horizon? Keep a weather eye on the horizon. What does that mean? Like, it's almost like don't be too focused here. It may come from something here. So you got this. Be in a place of flow, be able to respond to it, have things in place. So if it does happen, you're prepared. But yeah, your intuition is right. If you felt that was a vision, not just something else, then yes, honor that. I'm absolutely there for honoring that. You are capable. You can make magic happen. That would be my granddad speaking. I love it when they do that. Who's telling me that? Keep a weather eye on the horizon. Very, very bizarre. I love it when words come out my mouth that aren't mine. Oh, he does. He sits on your right side. Okay. Kathy, yes, absolutely. family time. Oh, okay. I I don't know if there is, Kathy, someone that is quite young, not overly young. I don't feel like they're necessarily a child. If they are, they're kind of tween age, that, that 10 and up, there's a child. And Amy, you'll make me blush. Thank you. um, it feels like family. There's a child in the family who is feeling quite subdued, like they want to do something, but they need support to do it. They have a talent or a skill, but they need some sort of support or help in place to help them develop it, because they are very capable. They are very capable, very creative. Um, but I don't know if they worry if this is something that's non-traditional that they're talented at, i.e., it wouldn't lead to a traditional, grounded, practical job, and they worry that they can't follow that path because it won't lead to people being supportive. You're not sure who that is. Keep hold of it because it may come up. Because I just worry that because they can absolutely make it become their career, because they just need help honing it and focusing it from someone that's experienced in that world to make that a career. This person may be having quite big mood swings, and people may be putting it down to their age, because they do feel pubescent kind of age. And if they're acting out, I think it's because there's some aspect of them that they want to develop or grow or understand or hone. Um, and they just need a bit of support. But instead of saying, "Hey, can I get some help?" It's almost like they're acting out to get a call for help, if that makes sense. It's like they're worried about being who they really are, even though that could be the thing that makes them successful and makes them thrive, and they just need a good teacher, someone that can help them direct. I don't know if it's someone's worried that it will lead them to, it won't be a career they can follow. I don't know if it's somebody trying to decide their subjects or what they want to study towards, but if they're acting out, there's a reason they're acting out, and it's because there's something within them that they want to nourish or develop or understand or progress in some way, and they don't necessarily have the feel they probably do have the space, they just don't feel they can open up and share that, and that's why they could be acting moody or out of character. um yeah, very conflicting. Like, they're very conflicted. Either they're conflicted or they keep causing conflict in the family. There's this kind of grating and rubbing fire because they're unsure of themselves in some way, and they just need a safe space to process that and open it up. I have no idea who that could be. My ears are ringing like crazy. It just keeps telling me that this is someone that needs developing. Keep hold of it, Kathy. It may be inaccurate. I'm not 100% all the time, but I don't necessarily feel this is current. I feel like this is something that could come up. And it may not be you. It may that somebody says to you, "Hey, they're acting out, da 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 da," and it's like, "Hey, have you considered that maybe there's something that they want to talk about and they don't feel they can?" I just feel like this is someone who has a dream and they feel disillusioned that they can't be it. They just need... I'll pour you something out. I'll change the energy and pour you something else, Kathy, because I hate for you to leave without something useful right now. It may not even be you that has to be the safe space. It's almost like you hear it and you go, hey, actually, it might be blah, 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 blah. Let's pull another one for Kathy. Something that Kathy can use right now rather than something at some point. I don't know if you're worrying about... there's an anxiety card here, but it's sandwiched right between the Ten of Cups, which is like this peak of magical joy, and the King of Wands. So this is going to sound weird, but I don't know if there's like a family celebration coming up, whether this is someone's birthday or somebody's achievement, something they've worked at and they're achieving. There's stress around it though, even though it brings so much joy and much needed healing. It's like the joy, the happiness is needed, deeply needed. There's like a celebration. They can be funny, Chelsea. They really can be funny. It's like the celebration of this person. It's like hope. It's very bizarre. It's like hope. Like they've worked so hard against all adversity because they knew this is what they were supposed to do, what they were supposed to achieve. That makes more sense. Good. There's this kind of the joy, but there is stress around it. It's not been easy. There's been a lot of worry and stress and anxiety, but it's almost like the realization of a goal. Like they overcome self-doubt, they overcome a lot. This celebration, it may be in the next 4 weeks. This person's very hard on themselves, very critical. It's almost like they've achieved it and they're still trying to pick fault at what they did. Go back over things. But this celebration is so needed because it brings hope. As it sounded just like my son. If you can take that other message, if someone can take that other message and it applies to you and you can apply that, then perfect. Take it. Sometimes the runoff is there for more than just the person we're reading for. And for you, Kathy, if something feels right, trust it. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition at the moment. If something feels right for you to do, go and do that. Because the resilience that you have, you could do anything. Honestly. Yes, there's risk. But honestly, I think the strength and resilience, go do it. Go do the thing. Go do it. If it feels right, if it feels like you're called to do it, it literally feels like a calling. You are more than capable. You can do anything. Amazing, Mama. And that you don't just mother you mother other people too. You look after other people too. But if you've been doubting yourself as a mother, then yes, you are incredible. Do not doubt yourself as a parent, as a mother. But yes, go and do the thing. If it feels right, go do the thing. It is such a powerful virtue, and I wish I had more of it. You are so welcome, Kathy. So glad I pulled you another one. I'd hate for anyone to go and go, no, that didn't work. Like I say, I'm not 100% accurate all the time. And if it was yours, Amy, then yes, take it. Okay, where are we going? 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 Lauren Jackson. Because as I read your name, a card jumped, and you have the first thing you have is the Hierophant. Do you have a ceremony to go to? I feel like you're changing. Not in a bad way. I feel like you're being more authentic, but people see that as changing. And actually, as you're evolving and stepping into who you are and working on you. No, it's okay, Lauren. I just saw the word ceremony. It's fine. And I was like, oh, ceremony. That's weird. I do want, if you are developing, working on you, doing that hard work, I do feel like as you're doing that, as you're learning to do that, as you're learning to be you and just put it out there, all of you, there may be a need to change those that are around you. If there's a person in particular that maybe means a lot to you, or did mean a lot to you, or has meant a lot to you, and you've invested a lot of time and energy in this person, a lot of water under the bridge, shall we say, I feel like there's a need to take space from them for a minute, because I don't know if they think they know more than you, and there's a need to step away from them. Whether that's permanent or temporary, that's up to you, but there's a need to walk away from them, because you can't do a lot. You can't do any more than you already have for this person. And actually, you shouldn't have to. You've put in a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, and actually sticking this person or giving this person, I want to say, gravity to what they're saying, then I don't know if it undoes some of your work. They like to, I don't know if this is someone that says they think they're inspiring you. It's like there are people that inspire with the carrot, like, hey, you could go do this. And then there are the ones that kind of give the stick. So like they like whipping a horse, like if you just did a little bit more, you could da 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 da. It's almost like negging kind of energy. And actually this person, I feel like there needs to be boundaries with this person, whether that's you not dealing with them because they think they're giving constructive criticism, but actually it's just negative criticism with not a lot of constructive development points to it. They just like to tell you where you're going wrong in the hope that you'll develop yourself, and then they'll take credit for saying, see, if I hadn't have told you that, you wouldn't have done it. Your hard work has happened because of you. You have done the work. There is really good news coming in. I don't know how this good news is gonna it's gonna have mixed feelings about it. It's going to bring up some memories, but overall the news is good. But it's going to bring up, it's like a bittersweet kind of message. Like as amazing as this good news is, there's going to be this tinge to it that's just brings up feelings that you thought were done, and it's not that you're going back to a dark place or anything. It's just, oh, okay, I'm not as over that phase of my life as I thought I was. But overall, you are doing incredible. Doing incredible. I do, Stephanie. I do private ones. If you go to magpiemoonchild.com, there is a thing on there for one-to-ones or recorded ones. I do. So recorded ones is just like a normal one-to-one reading, but you're not on the other end of the phone. It's just me talking to a computer. Or we can do Zoom ones. So I do Zoom readings as well. So yeah. Okay. I hope that's helpful, Lauren. But yes, there is good news. It's going to bring up some feely feels, but it's okay. Nothing you can't handle. It's just some things that need tying up. KC, of course I can. If you're coming up against challenges and you are coming up against, I don't know if this is competition, if it's a competition or there's some sort of challenge. And I don't know if this is you comparing yourself to someone else or feel like you're competing with someone else. What I'm being told is you are more than capable of overcoming any of these challenges. You have the intelligence, you have the ability to speak things into existence at the moment. You have the Mother Star, yes. On the bottom, I have the Empress. It's about realizing your whole picture, the whole of who you are, and to not compare yourself to other people. Worry about your lane and your strengths and develop you for your growth. Um, you can manifest anything to you. I really feel like your words have power, Casey, and you can create anything. So really, it's about using those words. Are you using the words and the thoughts that you have with negative, like I am not good enough? Or are you saying I am more than capable enough? I am this, I am that. What are you attracting towards you? It's about catching the words. When you're saying I don't or I can't, catch those words and change it into something that you can do and reinforce it that way. It's about catching the words, because by catching the words and changing the narrative, it changes the energy, because you're birthing things, you're creating things with your words and thoughts. um so have the yes, I can do it. Absolutely. If something comes up as a thing that you need to work and develop on, absolutely nourish that. Take that, okay, this needs working on and building up and healing. Do that. Do see it and work on it, because if you don't know what's wrong, how can you grow? However, do not doubt for a second that you are capable of overcoming any challenge that's in your way at the moment. You are more than capable. You need to just remind yourself that you are. And you have the Fool card. So if you were thinking of jumping into something and it feels right for you and you know you're capable of doing it, then it's the right thing to do. Doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, just has to make sense to you. I hope that's helpful, Casey, in some way. Literally this weekend I felt negative, but prior to this weekend I was doing great. Do you know what? I'm going to be completely honest here. I got into a funk this week, and like you, flying high, amazing, great. And then the last few days I've just been going, oh, I don't know. Am I? Can I not? I don't know. Um, and actually, I've had to go, you can do anything you want to. So, yeah, there is a kind of energy in the air at the moment where people are feeling stuck and blocked for a minute. And really, it's about how you navigate that. So make sure that you are giving yourself what you need to navigate that. Okay. Where are we going next? Where are we going next? If you'd like a card, let me know. Oh, Queen Williams, thank you so much for coming by. However, you are now blocked. Oh, see, if that lady turned up for you, just block her. She, that is a headache. Yes, loads. Yes, lots of crown energy. It feels a bit like, oh, right now. So, yes, ears ringing. We're getting upgrades, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay, where are we? I'll give it a couple more seconds for people to say I'd love one. There you go. Chelsea and Sarah. Okay. Remember, guys, I'm 20 seconds ahead of you, so absolutely comment if you want one. Feel free to comment again. Obviously not every 5 seconds, but feel free to comment again. Chelsea, for you, 5 of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Emperor. So the 5 of Swords, oh, that's really weird. My throat's just gone all phlegmy on the thing. Get us to the 5th. 5th, I'm going back up to the 12th. I don't know. I came down here by choice. I don't know why. Chelsea, the for you, there's conflict again, upheaval, somebody determined to have things their way. I do feel like each time it happens that you are learning things from it, though. It's not that Um, when this card comes up for me, it's to disengage from the person. And that isn't necessary to cut them off completely. I mean, that's a choice, right? And that's there. You have the Ace of Swords. You have the choice. The sword is there for you to cut, or it's there to use words to heal, to protect, whatever you want to use the words and the decision to do. That's there. You're being given that option. We have the Emperor in the other side of that card, though, in the sense that there needs to be structure in place for this, whatever this is. Um, and sometimes there can be things put in place that are just far too rigid. Like there's so much masculine, rigid Mars energy that there is no space for the Venusian feminine energy to come in and balance that out and to make it um, the most growth place. There is conflict. Okay. You have a decision here, and it says action as well. There is action that you can take, a choice that you can make. You can choose to cut, you can choose to, protect, you can choose to do whatever with this sword. You have the power. And I think this is really what it's saying. You have the power in this situation if you choose to say the words, to do the thing, to make the cut, to um defend where necessary. You have the wisdom, intelligence, words. This is a logical decision that you need to make because we have swords and the Emperor. And I just feel like this Emperor energy is the very structured masculine, like my way, do. Um, this has to happen at this time. There is no kind of flexibility or flow to it. It is very rock hard, this solid. This is this. This is the rules. And they are refusing to see any other point of view. So really the only thing you can do is you're not going to make them change their mind. You're not going to make them change. Only they can choose to do that. And right now they are not in a position where they want to do that because they're coming through as a 5. Like they are so determined to be right and have it their way. They are willing to they're just going to keep on and not even realize that they're losing things along the way. Um, so you have this Ace of Swords, which is, well, all you can do is use the power that you have, which is to disengage, to walk away, to talk, to not talk, to make any decision or action that you choose that you feel is right in this situation. It's about claiming back your authority, your sovereignty, and saying, hey, no, this or this. It's time for you to have some structure and you to say, no, I don't need this. And you have the 7 of Cups. There are options. There are different options. Also, um, when I get the 7 of Cups, it's often that if you're being offered something, make sure that you are fully assessing what it is. Um, because absolutely, Stephanie, absolutely. I would, yes, I volunteered for this. Ricket. I had a wonderful sidereal reading that said that. However, back to this 7 of Cups. Sometimes it's things being offered to us or tempted to us or shown to us, and it can be the best way I can describe the way I'm feeling this card and how I often feel this card is that it's like the Holy Grail. Okay, that film, is it Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail? And they all go and pick up a cup and they go, well, it must be this one because it's gold and luxurious, and they sip it, and then there's poison in it and they die. Or I think it's that. It might even be Monty Python Holy Grail. And if I've confused the two of those things, that's hilarious. However, there is this, what looks like a golden chalice could actually hold poison in it. But the battered cup turned out to be the Holy Grail. The tiny little insignificant, you could really miss it cup was the Holy Grail. Also, like Aladdin's lamp, right? He was in a cave full of treasures and he picks up this lamp and it looks battered and he gives it a quick rub and it comes out and it's everything he didn't expect because it was just this battered up little lamp that was overlooked. So really what I'm getting with that is if something's being offered to you and it feels too good to be true, it most likely is. Make sure that you would um that you're fully considering all the options, because I don't know if this person is saying one thing and then leaving ambiguity so that when they don't provide it, they go, well, I never said that. And they're twisting words in this kind of way. So make sure that you are making sure that there is balance, that it is an equal partnership, that there isn't just all one way and the other, that it is equal exchange, equal, you're putting the same in, getting the same out. I do feel like they will be offered something to help guide them towards healing. However, it's up to them to take it. It's up to them to get the healing that they require. And absolutely, I feel like they will be offered it or given some sort of way of building themselves back up. You can't make them make that choice to do that. They have to choose to do that themselves. The only thing you can do is make a choice based on what is best for you in this time, as hard as that is. I just feel like somebody's giving you daydreams, um, and then not living up to it, and then going, I promise I'll do it in this time, and then they don't do it. And it's like a dangling carrot that you never quite, it's like a donkey with a, with the donkey, and then they have the carrot on the stick and they hold it in front of it so it keeps trying to get the carrot to keep it moving forward. I feel like something of that nature is happening with you right now. You keep being promised something and then it doesn't happen, and it's just like a little bit to keep you going a bit longer, to keep you going a bit longer. What they actually really need to do is to get the help that they need, um, because right now you can't make any kind of foundational growth, any kind of growth or actual progress until the foundations are solid, and you two are the foundations. So make sure you're solid, make sure that they are solid equally, and then build from there. If that is of any help to you whatsoever, Chelsea, if that's of any help. But right now, the devil cards come out. So right now there's some sort of imbalance or something that's unhealthy in that connection. So it's really about getting to the root of that and making sure that that gets healed before you progress in any kind of forward direction, if that makes sense. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means that right now it's unhealthy and it needs healing. If that helps. There's that Seven of Cups again. All that glitters is not gold. Also, you shouldn't be chasing the shiny shinies. Shiny shinies usually have some sort of trap around them. Oh, we'll put the cheese here for the mouse. TikTok. Do you know what? I keep being sent things on TikTok, and I was doing daily readings on TikTok, and then somehow I've kind of dropped off the TikToks. And I mean, I will start doing them again when the kids go back to school next week, but because I don't have any quiet, I have literally 4 or 5 decks over there waiting to be unboxed and worked through. So expect those to go up on the YouTube channel this next fortnight. But yeah, it's just, I love shiny things too, Chelsea. Actually, I don't know where I put my ring. I've had my ring on all day. That's the thing with ADHD. It's like being a fairy. You forget where you've put the things. A beautiful ring that I got bought for Christmas, and I've lost it. It's probably in the sink. Sarah Connor. What have we got for you right now? Tower. That's always helpful. Okay. Well, we all know the Tower can be it's a card that comes in for us to, actually, the words that it says, right, I will read the keywords because it does do this, right? So ADHD fairy, I am ADHD. I do forget things, and I do play with the fae. I say play with them. I don't play with them. I work with them, and I should stop saying playing because it makes it sound fun, and it's not always fun. So Sarah, with the Tower, I will read these keywords to you because it's destruction, enlightenment, and release. So yes, things are destroyed potentially, but also with that there becomes this enlightenment phase and this release, this, oh thank god that pressure's gone, or oh my god thank god I knew that wasn't the right thing, or there wasn't this healthy thing. And sometimes it's like having that knowing information that's really hard to have, but you're relieved that you know, because it's better that you know than um it's like when you know you can never go back to what was before, but however there is a release There is a release of you from whatever you have put on you. There's also this enlightenment of, oh my God, I can do anything now. Um, completely agree with that too. Completely too. I think you'll find most readers are neurodivergent. Have yeah. What I have on the end of this, after this tower though, is everything that goes along. So the next card that I have is Temperance, and this is about finding a middle road, some sort of compromise that allows us to have almost the path of least resistance, that allows us to heal in certain ways. Um, Also listening to divine guidance. If you feel like there's spirit around you, talk to them, ask them for the guidance. They may give you signs. They may give you, you may start finding feathers or ladybugs or fireflies or anything that kind of means anything to you. It catches you and you think, oh, I wonder if that's so and so. It most likely is. I often smell my nan or whoever, and actually I've started smelling and having things of people that are living that need help, which is really helpful. um what it is and it isn't, because then I'm like, oh, do I tell that person? But anyway, if you're getting signs and symbols and things coming through, this is kind of guidance from spirit that you're supposed to be doing something or acting in some sort of way. You then have the Lovers card and the Four of Pentacles. The Lovers card can absolutely be a relationship, but also making a choice. Um, and again, it's making a choice that seems black and white to everybody, but it actually isn't. And it's yes, divine timing as well. Yep, absolutely. Um, it isn't black and white. There is a thing in the middle. There's a need for communication to really assess what that is even going on before you even make a decision or you make a choice. There's a need for communication, not just with you and another person or another party, but all around, asking people's point of views. You don't have to take them on board, but they can absolutely give you a point of view or an angle or some advice if you've asked for it. Also, it can be reaching out to people, like asking for the divine for help, but also asking a higher power. So asking if, say you need support from, is there a scheme or not a charity, but absolutely a charity, I suppose, or any kind of organization that can give you help, a higher power, as in a collective power as well, that can give you help. What you have here is the Four of Pentacles, which means that you're holding on to things, holding things, saving things, stashing things, but also holding on to your feelings and keeping closed off, not really letting people in to help you when they can potentially help you. There is an opportunity for that. What I'm getting as a final card here is the Nine of Cups. Make sure that you are maintaining that you are okay, that you are happy, that you are fulfilled, that you are satisfied with the current situation, that if you're not, then you're working towards that. With the Temperance and the Lovers, I always say that if that the difference, absolutely finding a compromise with someone is great, but remember that there is a difference between compromise and settling. When we settle, we're accepting less than. There's an imbalance of things. Um, I'm going to pull another one just because, as lovely as that is to say to focus on you, I just feel like there is a need for, I don't know. I just feel like there's a need for another card, and I'm just going with it. If they're telling me I need another card, then they need to give me another card. Hey, Facebook user, the Star. The Star is the healing after the Tower and building ourselves up and making choices and refining what we do and do not accept. And also the Star is, what do I want to do now? What are you trying to manifest? What life do you want to build from this point on? I've started to feel the outcome is going to be negative all of a sudden, and I'm terrified I'm manifesting that for them. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be negative. If you're putting structure in place, if you're making sure foundations are strong, that the core is there, that you keep faith and you keep hope. I mean, this is saying inspiration, guiding light, faith, hope. But to me, it's not just that. The Star is so much more. It's about building our life back up and making sure we're doing that in a structured, strong way so that it can't be blown down by something else. There is success on here, by the way. Triumph. It does come with an ending. There is an ending. closure, some sort of finality that's needed, required. I don't know if this is finality of words or finality of decisions or actions that need to be taken, but there is success the other side of it. There is success the other side of it, and the Ten of Pentacles. So a solid home that is loving and supportive and healthy, that is on the other side of it, but there needs to be some sort of closure and rebuilding um, that occurs as part of a healing process to rebuild to build a life back up. Also, someone is determined to be right with regards to children. I don't necessarily think that they are. They just think they have power and authority because they have some sort of material things. In terms of judgment for them will be negative. Oh, I see what you mean. I think I see what you mean now. I can't read on that because I don't read legal. Security and reliability with regards to children is really important. Someone is trying to prevent upheaval in the event that it could go negatively. I think they're trying to put things in place for that, to give them strong foundation so that I think they're trying to what am I trying I think they think they're being cruel to be kind, and in the sense that, well, if that's inevitably going to happen, I think I need to make sure that I'm kind of they're detaching from me before I'm gone for a while. Do you know what I mean? If there's that kind of energy to that. There's thinly veiled fantasies being dreamed up and spoken of at the moment. Lies is what I'm saying. There are lies being said. Rise above it. Rise above it. Focus on you and what you need and what you want to create. Not on what isn't happening, on what you can do, where you want to build. It's about claiming your power back, your magic. Because you have to be a foundation. You have to be a foundation. It's really hard to feel inspired though. I think you're going to find inspiration in work. I don't know if you're back at work yet, but there is newfound energy that comes through work, like inspiration, and your power comes back. Like, oh, I can do this and I can do this good. And there's almost like this empowering, oh, I know who I am again. Can you hear those dogs? Okay. Inspiration and clarity are coming. You just have to be open to receiving them. Right now, you're kind of blinkered and shut off. And so being open to that is going to help give you clarity of what way forward for you. Being open to all sorts. Don't say no to things just because you think, oh, no, 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 no. A dog barked there. Next door's dogs go crazy all the time. I love them. They're so cute, but my dog doesn't bark back. She just goes, what are they barking at? Okay. What else we got? Apologies, but I don't think you want the apology. I think someone's apologizing, but you either don't believe it or you don't want it. It's one or the other. There's an apology making its way to you. And trust your gut. If something feels off, if something feels like it's coming up, trust that intuition. You really have to learn to trust your intuition, because it's barely ever wrong. Barely ever wrong. Danielle Michelle. Danielle Michelle. I don't know who the Facebook user was, but hey. Okay, Danielle Michelle. And I think, as it's been 2 hours, this will be my last one this evening. Danielle Michelle. It says Danielle Michelle, and you're not. You're Danielle Michael. What the hell is wrong with me? Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Danielle. Danielle Michelle. That's it now. Danielle Michelle. Danielle Michael. A long-term plan. Michael, I know. I've turned you French. You are Michelle. Danielle Michelle. Sorry, Danielle. If you're worried about a long-term plan, I don't know if like a long-term plan is scaring you right now. Like, oh, that's a big commitment. That's a big commitment. However, you are capable. You are very capable of committing to this. You are more reliable. You have more structure than you believe you do. I don't know if you've been made to believe that you are flaky, that you can't be relied upon, that you have to be self-sufficient. But with this, you are putting foundations in place for this. It's really important that you do the groundwork, that you have the foundations in place. If this is going to last a long time, you have to see the long-term plan. So that means that you can't necessarily cut corners, and that you have to do things thoroughly and slowly in order to do it up. I don't think you are flaky. I think you've been told you're flaky, and I don't think you are. I think when it counts, you really are committed to something and you really do focus. So make sure that you're not cutting corners. Make sure that you are taking the time. That's going to make you sometimes feel some point on this path you're going to feel quite alone, and that's okay, because sometimes we have to do things on our own. However, you are capable, and if you need help, reach out and ask for help. By the way, you're not alone. Ask for help. If you need some support, ask for support. It doesn't have to be from the person who says you're flaky. I would go somewhere else and go, hey, do you know what? No, I don't need, I may not be, I do not need you. I do not need you. But there is help around you. You have actually quite a good support network around you. And you are very reliable, very balanced, very tenacious. That person just takes chunks out of you for whatever reason. So just remember to stay your beautiful, charismatic self, your intuitive self. Trust your intuitions, trust your guidance, trust your knowledge, trust your wisdom. You have so much actually in your wheelhouse. I feel, right, that they worry. They are in a survival place. They worry that, this, and this isn't okay. They worry when they have a certain figure in the bank account and it goes below it, or there's that kind of energy that they worry. They see all the negative things that could happen, and that worries them. Whereas you're like, yeah, but this is in place and this is in place, and I know I can do this, and this. And I can do it with or without you. I mean, you can help me, or it's going to be more successful if you're on board, but you don't necessarily need that person. As much as they're bringing valid things to the table, they're not listening to the way that you're going, yeah, but I've accounted for that in this, and this. I think they think they're being helpful, but they're not necessarily doing that. Trust your knowledge, trust your wisdom, trust that you know what you're doing. If it means going, I'm doing it with or without you, you can come with me or you can get lost, you're doing it. They just don't see your vision necessarily, and rather than understanding it, they just keep on and on and on. They just keep on and on and on. But recognize when you're feeling in flow and recognize when you're ebbing down. when you're feeling tired, when you're feeling drained, energetically on any level, physical, mental, whatever, make sure you're giving yourself what you need. Sometimes you need to step away from the project a little bit to get perspective and see all the options and creative solutions around it. Um, but you have the vision and you have the capability and you have the skill and you have the commitment. You can absolutely make this work. And actually, you're going to get some good news coming in the next week or so, that really is going to give you that reassurance that you require. It doesn't have to make sense to them. It only has to make sense to you because you're the one doing all the work. You're going to have some good news in the next week, 8 days, 8 days, 6 to 8 days, that reignites you and re-inspires you and makes you reaffirms that you know you're doing the right thing. So trust your instincts. They have some sort of scarcity where they've lost before, and that's why they worry about going back there. Um, so yeah, if it feels right to you and you've considered all the options and you've considered all the points of view and it still feels right to you in your gut, absolutely follow that. So, okay, right. I am going to stop there because it's 2 hours and I'm honoring my energy. So I'm sorry if you didn't get a read tonight. I tried to get through as many as I could. Thank you to everybody. Oh, thank you, Paula Balinsky. That's so kind of you. That's fine. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. That's fine. What was I saying? Yeah, anybody who's allowed me to read for you tonight, thank you so much for your time and energy. Anybody that I didn't read for, I'm really sorry. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And I will see you again perhaps in the week. I think I might be playing with Laura and Layla later in the week, but I haven't actually sorted that out yet. And if you, I'm doing a giveaway for a free personal reading on my group, on Magpie's Nest group. So if you want to come and join that, I am drawing that tomorrow evening. And I will say, yeah, that's whatever's right, Daisy is right. Clarity helps. That's exactly why I use it for me. So, but yes, I will see you all again soon. It's probably going to be quite random for a couple of weeks till we're bedded in with schools and everything. But yeah, I will see you all later. Bye for now.